let's talk about one of the most incredible, most empowering ideas in all of science. And that's the idea that you, yes, you, are the architect of your own brain. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Your brain is not fixed. For so long, we were led to believe that we're pretty much stuck with the brain we're born with, but that could not be further from the truth. So what's the science that makes this possible? It all comes down to a concept called neuroplasticity. And really, it's just a fancy way of saying that your brain has this amazing ability to change and adapt. It's not some kind of magic, it's a direct physical result of what you do, what you think, and what you practice every single day. Okay, so let's really dig into this first big idea. Your brain is basically under constant renovation. It's not this static thing that just sits there. It's actively tearing down and rebuilding itself every single moment based on the signals you're sending it. You know, for decades, the old belief was that our brains were like concrete. Once you hit adulthood, that's it. It's set. But this breakthrough understanding of neuroplasticity completely shatters that idea. Your brain isn't concrete at all. It's much more like clay, and it's being constantly molded and reshaped for your entire life. So how exactly does this reshaping happen? Well, think about it. Every time you learn a new language, practice a new song on the guitar, or even just wrestle with a tough problem, you're not just gaining some abstract knowledge. You are physically, literally, laying down new wiring in your brain. You're the foreman on the job site. There's this super famous saying in neuroscience that just perfectly sums this all up. Neurons that fire together wire together. What that really means is that every time you repeat a thought or an action, the connection between the brain cells involved gets faster, stronger, and more efficient. You are literally paving a highway in your head with every repetition. And that idea leads us straight to the real building blocks of your brain's architecture, your habits. Because it turns out they're way, way more than just the things we do automatically. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. A habit isn't just something you do, it's something you are, neurologically speaking. It's a physical, well-traveled road in your brain. And, just like you'd rather drive on a smooth paved highway than a bumpy dirt road, your brain loves to take the easy route. It prefers to use these familiar, efficient circuits it's already built. So what does this mean for changing a bad habit? Well, you can't just wish it away or delete that old road. What you have to do is, 1, stop driving on it, and 2, start paving a new one right next to it. And with enough repetition, that new road becomes the superhighway and the old one starts to fade away. Okay, so repetition works. But let's be honest, it can be slow. If you want to speed up this whole construction process, you need a power tool. And the most powerful tool you have in your entire toolkit, it's your focus, your attention. This is such a simple idea, but it is so profound. The parts of your brain that you actively focus on get more blood flow, more resources, they get stronger faster. Your attention basically acts like a giant spotlight, telling your brain, hey, this right here, this is important. Build here. And this just lays it out perfectly. 1 hour of deep, focused practice is going to rewire your brain so much more effectively than, say, 3 hours of kinda sorta paying attention while you're also checking your phone. It's not about the clock, it's about the quality of that spotlight. And this isn't just about learning skills. Your inner world, your thoughts, are constantly shaping your brain's chemistry. If you're always dwelling on negative stuff, you're just strengthening your brain's stress circuits, making anxiety your default. But if you practice calm thinking, if you reframe challenging situations, you're literally building up the circuits for emotional control. All right, so you can have the best blueprint in the world, you can have the most powerful tools, but without a construction crew, nothing actually gets built. And that, my friends, is where rest and sleep come in. They are the essential and honestly the most overlooked part of brain change. So you really have to ask yourself, is sleep just about your body powering down? Is it just taking a break? No, not even close. For your brain, sleep is prime time. It's when the crew comes in to actually build and solidify everything you worked on during the day. During deep sleep, your brain is busy storing all that new information and those new skills you learned. Then, during REM sleep, it's processing emotions, kind of like emotional therapy, helping you deal with the day's stresses. So if you skip sleep, you're basically telling the construction crew to pack up and go home before the cement has even dried. The changes just won't stick. And this idea goes way beyond just sleep. Real growth requires you to push yourself, to get out of your comfort zone. That's the stress part. But the actual growth, the getting stronger part, That doesn't happen during the stress. It happens in the recovery period that comes after. It's a cycle. You need both the push and the pause. Okay, so let's tie all of this together. We've got the brain's ability to change, we've got the habits that form its structure, the focus that acts as a power tool, and the rest that's the construction crew. It all boils down to a really simple but incredibly powerful formula. Look, we're all chasing motivation, right? But real, lasting change in your brain isn't about some fleeting burst of inspiration. It's a system. It's about consistent repetition, supercharged with intense focus, and then locked in place with quality rest and recovery. That's it. That's the formula. So, the final thought I want to leave you with is this. Neuroplasticity is always on. It's happening right now. Whether you're paying attention to it or not, your brain is changing every single day. So the only real question left is, are you going to be the architect who's directing that change by design, or are you just going to let it happen by default?